Hey you, make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video for my special giveaway announcement. You don't want to miss this. And if you want to help support the channel, check me out on Patreon. And since I'm brand new, my page is still under construction. But very soon, you'll have access to exclusive member content. And thank all of you for your support. Hey you, it's your girl, the Comic Book Bombshell, right here. And welcome to my channel. And on today's episode, I'm going to reach back into my wealth of knowledge and explore the differences of how characters are portrayed between the comic books and the Marvel movies. Now I say Marvel movies because not all of these are part of the MCU. Now, for me, one of my biggest pet peeves has always been while they're in the process of adapting a story or character to the big screen, many unnecessary changes are made, which is very frustrating because I grew up reading the comics and I love those original stories, so I would really love it if they would stick to that original storyline. Now, I'm all for adaptability, alright? But many of my favorite characters have become unrecognizable. How do you feel about this? Do you think Hollywood should stop taking liberties with the characters, or do you like what they're doing? And you can let me know what you think down in the comments. Alright, since there's so many movies and so many characters that I'm not happy with, I would be here all day long if I was to talk about all of them. So, I'm just going to start with two. So, for those of you who are only familiar with the movies, I'm going to cover how in some cases major changes have been made to certain character power sets. First, I'm starting with Wolverine.
Hey, Tin Woodsman! I'm sending you back to Oz in pieces.
Pretty much everybody knows Wolverine's powers. Retractable claws, super advanced healing factor, increased physical attributes, and hyper-acute sense of smell.
Hold up! I smell gun oil.
All of which augmented by an unbreakable manium skeleton. First off, in order to distinguish the differences of Wolverine in the comics versus the movies, we need to talk about his healing factor and its limits. Now, in the comics, Wolverine's healing factor has changed over the years. In the 80s and 90s, his healing factor could be burned out after prolonged battles with severe injuries. But generally he has become more potent from the time he was introduced up until now. So, in the comics, the list of injuries that Wolverine has suffered over the years is almost endless. But I'm only going to name a few. He's usually able to recover from severe lacerations and gunshot wounds within a few hours. He's been ripped in half and eaten by the Hulk. Whoa. He's extremely resistant to poisons and all types of illnesses. He was able to fight off being infected by the Brood. He's had his face shot off and was ran over by a steamroller, courtesy of the Punisher. And he has survived a direct hit from a nuclear explosion. Whoa! Now, in most of the movies, he seems slightly more susceptible to these type of injuries. Or maybe it's just a little more inconsistent. For example, in X2, he is knocked unconscious by a gunshot to the head. But in Days of Future Past, he is unfazed by at least a half a dozen bullets to his torso. Very inconsistent. Now, in 2013's Wolverine, like in the comics, he survives a nuclear explosion even though he's partially protected by his underground jail cell. And Logan spends much of the movie with his healing factor disabled by Viper. And Wolverine actually has his claws chopped off, which in my opinion, neither should have been possible. So, I think comic book Wolverine can probably recover from overall more serious injuries that will kill movie Wolverine. but movie Wolverine recovers from small injuries more quickly. And movie Wolverine had Hugh Jackman, so that's a plus too. Now, I know there's probably a lot more things we could talk about. However, I'm just giving you a little gist. Oh, and one other thing I would like to point out are the differences physically. Now, comic book Wolverine is short, only 5'3".
You always liked pushing around people smaller than you. Well, I'm smaller. Try pushing me!
Angry and very hairy. It's pretty much a loner. However, the Hugh Jackman Wolverine is 6 feet tall and handsome and plays a charismatic leading role. Now, this next character I'm talking about because she has a movie coming up, and it seemed like the right time. Who is it? Well, Black Widow.
Natalia Romanov.
Now, originally in the comics, Black Widow, who was introduced in 1964, was just a spy with specialized training in espionage and high-level martial arts skills. Just a normal human with no actual powers. Well, come to find out in the mid-2000s, I guess in an effort to keep her relevant, Marvel decided to retcon her character and say she was given a female version of super soldier serum, to which enhanced her immune system, her lifespan, and physical attributes, which I'm personally slightly annoyed with. Now, I mention all of that because in the MCU, they haven't mentioned Black Widow receiving any of these type of super soldier serum. Now, I heard speculation that in an upcoming movie Raw, they may show her getting the serum. I guess we'll see. If so, then I don't have a big problem with it. But as of now, I don't like how she's being portrayed. Now, in my opinion, she is totally overpowered. Case in point, in Iron Man 2, she just runs through about a half a dozen Hammer security guards without a scratch, often taking them out with one hit. A little far-fetched, but okay, it's a movie. And then the way she takes out all those Chitauri aliens in Avengers, almost laughable. And if I recall, I think she puts one of them in a leg lock. Dumb. And in Captain America Civil War, she survives a grenade explosion while trapped inside an armored truck. Ridiculous. But the worst of all is how she takes on Proxima Midnight in Infinity War, who, by the way, possesses superhuman strength, speed, endurance, and durability, and actually holds her own. Side note, she's one of my favorite characters in that whole movie. Now, I remind you, in the MCU, as far as we know, she's just a normal human being with no powers. So for me, her character is very unbelievable. Maybe in the upcoming Black Widow movie, they will fix some of these discrepancies. However, I don't have my hopes very high with the next phase of the MCU, outside of Doctor Strange 2, which I'm very excited about. Now, look at this guy. Out of all the characters they could have brought into this movie, they chose him? The Red Guardian? In general, for Black Widow, her physical characteristics are pretty much the same, except for that blonde emo hairdo in Endgame. And aside from her whole power disparity we just talked about, her character is very similar in both the movies and the comics. For me, I just find it boring. Didn't they have another C-level character to pull from? Oh wait, they did. Crossbones. Well, that wraps up this week's Overpowered Underpowered. Stay tuned in a couple weeks when I do some more. I'll reach into my wealth of knowledge and pull out, I don't know. If you have some suggestions, drop them in the comments below or hit me up on Instagram or Facebook. And don't forget to tune in next week for part 3 of Door
We would be
Conversions.
honored if you would join us.
I have some breaking news. I have decided once I reach 500 subscribers, I'm doing a giveaway. And for your chance to win, all you have to do is subscribe, like, and comment. And also tell your friends so we can reach this goal. Are you the lucky one? And with that, I bid you farewell. I would like to thank all of you for tuning into my channel for today's episode. I have a lot of things planned with an unbelievable amount of content that I want to share with all of you. This was your comic book bombshell. Until next time, see you later. And if you like what you just watched and you want more, please hit the subscribe button along with the notification bell. And don't forget to spread the word and smash that like button.